Hi, this is Mike Folea, Solutions Engineering Team at Wind River. In this short video, I'm going to show you how to set up an instance based on the VxWorks 2203 AMI in Amazon Web Services. There'll be following videos that contain some follow-on activities. So this just sets up the AMI. This just sets up the instance based on the AMI. So a couple of things that we need to do is just go into the EC2 dashboard, set up a couple of things. We create a key pair that we use. I call it a My VxWorks Graviton key pair. Also created a virtual private cloud. So let's go here and look at the VPCs. You can see that I have one called My Graviton VPC. And if I go into that, you'll see how I set that up. Has DNS resolution enabled, DNS host names enabled. And I also have an internet gateway connected to this and a subnet, and also made a routing table update to route things correctly. So let's go back to the EC2 instance. The last thing I've set up is a security group. See here in my Graviton security group. And this simply allows SSH access to get through. Okay, so let's go ahead and set an instance up. Just do launch instance. And I've only found the VxWorks AMI in this Northern Virginia. I haven't looked around a lot, but a couple of places like West, I couldn't find it. So it's in US East 1 for sure. So when you launch an instance, you just give it a name. And I'm not going to launch this, but just to show you how to do it. And then here you're going to want to find the VxWorks one. So you want to search for VxWorks. And a nice search tool comes back and tells you found 2 mentions of VxWorks in marketplace AMIs, but those are not the ones. So the other place it found that was in community AMIs, and this is the one that we want. So it's VxWorks 2203. Go ahead and select that. And that goes ahead and pops that information in here. Now the instance type, we've tested this up to 32 cores, I believe, but for sake of cost, I'm just going to do a T4G.micro, which is the smallest one, 2 VPCs. I'm going to go ahead and select my Graviton key pair. And then under network settings, you're going to want to edit this, and you're going to want to select the VPC that you set up for Graviton. You'll see the subnet information is here. Also assign a public IP, and then you don't want to create a security group. You want to select an existing security group, and then you go ahead and select My Graviton SG. And that is it. You leave this configure storage the way it is. That's plenty of space for what we're doing. And then you just do a launch instance. And that's it. Now, what is that going to do? That's going to launch an instance of the VxWorks 2203 AMI. And I already have one running here. So if we go ahead and click on it, you'll see that it's gone ahead and it's grabbed an IP address. And then we can connect to this. So there's 2 ways to connect. We can connect over the EC2 serial console here in Amazon browser. And that's actually connected. So what this thing does is it comes up, it's just a VxWorks bootloader. So if you hit return here, you'll see I get to the VxWorks boot prompt, and doing a P shows the parameters. Okay, so basically it tells it the boot device, the host name, and the file name. And this information here is for a secure FTP server. So what we're going to do in the future videos is we're going to set up an EC2 secure FTP server to host our VxWorks images. So this here is just the bootloader. We will actually we will boot a real image from FTP, and this is how you set that up. So there's more information on this coming, but that's the next steps. So this is, like I said, it's already booted. So you can do Control X here to reboot it. And you can see how it comes through the UEFI bootloader. And then it launches the VxWorks boot app. So this is called a VxWorks boot app, and that's what's used is to boot a real VxWorks image. Okay, the second way, let me pause for 1 second. A different way to connect to that serial console is using, let me go ahead and close this, is using the Amazon command line and the instance ID. So here's the commands to call. This is all documented. And I also have a script here. So what you do is you go back over here to grab your instance ID, make a copy of it, come back over here, and then you can run the AWS. You just run the script with the instance ID. And then it runs these two commands, and it does that connection to the console over SSH. And here you see them connected as well. Also get to the VxWorks prompt. I can see the parameters that way. And that's what we got. So basically this one, tilde dot to get out of that, and you're back at the command line. Okay, so that's the very first video. Shows how to bring up, use the AMI to bring up an instance. And then in subsequent parts of this, I'm going to give you the steps for setting up a secure FTP server on a different EC2 instance. And then we will build a VxWorks image using Wind River Workbench or Wind River Studio development tools. And we will take that VxWorks image that we build, and then we will upload it to the FTP server, and then we'll boot it onto this instance. Thanks.